Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to the Hindu newspaper Analysis Townhall. Today is October 13th and we're going to see the following topics from the Hindu newspaper. First one, Great Nicobar Project. Here we will see the impact of the project on the Nicobar Island, and also we will discuss all over the world, including India, what are the various legal rights of the natural resources like rivers or mountains, etc. Second, as the elections approaches in India, at the central level or in any state, like today in case of Bihar, the schemes for women are announced, the freebies or cash transfer scheme. So here we will see whether such schemes give women the agency where they have control over the resources or just make them passive voters. Third, Indian-UK mature relationship. UK Prime Minister visited India. Here we will see what are the various agreements being signed and also how it is called a mature relationship. As in today's arena where India, US, if you say US daily tweets. So there is no trust of what you say. So here we will see how the mature relationship has happened between India and UK. Fourth, National Commission for Scheduled Caste, where the commission has made changes in rules regarding certain cases which will be disposed of without hearing if they do not follow the proper procedure. Then last one, the Nobel Prize in Medicine. Okay, so let's start. Yes, what is the Great Nicobar Project? First of all, it is a mega project, thousands and thousands of crores. It includes construction of a power plant, a township, transshipment port, airport, etc. And it is expected to affect 13,000 hectares of the pristine forest in the Nicobar Island. As we all know, Nicobar acts as a major biological diversity hotspot, global carbon reservoir, and also climate regulator. So first of all, let's see from the different dimensions. From the judicial dimension, how the rights of the tribes can be protected. Okay, first of all, we have Forest Rights Act 2006. It basically empowers the scheduled tribe and the traditional forest dwellers to manage and protect the forest land where they live. Okay, so if any forest land is to be diverted, so the consensus has to be taken from those tribes. Now there is a judgment of the Supreme Court in 𝐼𝐸𝐻𝐿𝐴 Hills case. इसमें क्या था? There was a plan for the bauxite mining in the area where the Dongria Kon tribe used to live. So now the case went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court in Odisha Mining Corporation versus Ministry of Environment and Forest. Supreme Court upheld that Gram Sabha has the sovereign right to decide. So isme Supreme Court said that Gram Sabha by voting will decide whether they want this project to continue or not. So the voting happened in Gram Sabha, and Gram Sabha decided that the mining project would not start. So they basically rejected the mining in sacred 𝐼𝐸𝐻𝐿𝐴 Hills. Okay, so this judgment is very important when it comes to preserving the environment or say forest area. Okay, so what is the situation of the rights of the natural resources all over the world? Basically, the core idea of this earth jurisprudence. It is like we have seen in mains, many questions have come like in the last 2, 3, 4 years, like judiciary case studies on environmental laws related to women. So it can also come related to the rights of the nature. The core idea is that natural entities like rivers and forests, they should have the legal standing, like they can act as a party in a case in court. They can be represented in court, not as property, not as an asset, but as a subject of rights. Okay, this is the core idea. It has been recognized in many countries like Ecuador, Colombia, Bolivia, New Zealand. Earth jurisprudence have been adopted, basically recognizing nature as a right-bearing entity. That is, if river is there, it is not just an asset or an it is not just an asset, but it has the legal standing. It is a subject. That is, it can fight its own case in the court. Therefore, must be represented by some person only, but they can act as a person in court. In India also, there has been a judgment of the Uttarakhand High Court in case of Mohammed Salim versus State of Uttarakhand. What Uttarakhand High Court said? It granted the legal personhood to the rivers, that is Ganges and Yamuna. Ganga and Yamuna river को personhood का status, legal right दिया Uttarakhand High Court ने. So therefore, and it also assigned the guardians to represent them. Who will represent? It also included the representatives from the Supreme Court also, or the High Court of the Uttarakhand. But this judgment was stayed by the Supreme Court later. But still, this is a major judgment, or a landmark judgment, where the rights of the Ganga and Yamuna river were recognized as a legal person. At global level also, Colombian river, the Atrato river in Colombia, basically the Colombian Constitutional Court, it recognized the Atrato river as a legal person. So these are the global case studies. It introduced the concept of the biocultural rights. Okay. And also therefore linking the nature's rights and indigenous people's cultural rights. So this same jurisprudence, the article says that should be applied to the Nicobar project also. That is the ecology of that region, along with the tribes living in, and also the biodiversity. They should be recognized as legal person, and they should have a say in any project if it comes there. Like in the Niyamgiri Hills case, a project came, the Gram Sabha decided to vote against it, and therefore the project was rejected. So this should happen in the case of Nicobar project also. Okay. So these are the basically different dimensions. Last month also we have discussed various dimensions from the point of view of the government, that how various safeguards have been taken into consideration, and various other articles which claim that a lot of land is going to be diverted from the forest area. So this is a different dimension, that is legal and ethical dimension. Okay. Next articles. Do cash transfers build women's agency? What is this? अब कैश ट्रांसफर की स्कीम रेगुलर बेसिस पे आ रही है. बिहार इलेक्शन से पहले रिसेंटली बिहार गवर्नमेंट हैज रोल्ड आउट मुख्यमंत्री महिला रोजगार योजना, under which 75 lakh women was sent a capital of 10,000 rupees so that they can start their own business or some self-employment opportunity can be created. And if it succeeds, then additional 2 lakh loan will also be given. Okay, this is not the only scheme. In various states, the scheme were announced. Like Karnataka's Griha Lakshmi scheme is there. West Bengal's Lakshmi Bhandar scheme is there. Madhya Pradesh Ladli Behna. Telangana's Mahalakshmi. Okay, so the basic question comes, are these schemes act as only a cash transfer scheme, or they build the agency in the women? Okay, so now they have both the angles, social as well as political. If they act as only the transfer scheme, then their motive is only political, to get the votes. But if they build the agency, then it is leading to the social empowerment or the empowerment of the women. Okay, so first of all, let's see some data related to these schemes and formalization of the women in financial arena. Direct benefit transfer scheme, financial inclusion. Jan Dhan Yojana के अंदर 56 crore accounts were opened, out of which 55.7% belongs to women. World Bank के भी data के according 89% of the Indian women now have bank accounts. It is among the highest globally. Global average is 77%, but in India it is 89% on the levels of the developed economies. 54% of the accounts, but this is another thing, 54% of the accounts which are open, they primarily were open to receive government benefits only. This is also the truth. So now let us see the hidden challenge with this. Hidden challenge with women का account है. अब अकाउंट तो ओपन हो गया, उसमें एक बार गवर्नमेंट बेनिफिट भी चला गया, स्कीम का बेनिफिट, से फॉर एग्जांपल 5,000, 10,000 rupees, whatever it is. After that, what happens to that account? First one, account dormancy. Around 20% of the women's accounts, they are inactive. एक्टिव ही नहीं है. रीजन क्या हो सकता है? फंड्स नहीं है उनके पास, या उनके पास कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है, या कुछ डिजिटल या फिजिकल बैरियर है. विल सी दोज बैरियर्स ऑल्सो. सो 20% अकाउंट्स तो इनएक्टिव ही हैं. उसके बाद यूसेज क्या है? अब बैंक अकाउंट का पर्पस क्या हो सकता है? इट्स नॉट दैट गवर्नमेंट सेंड यू द मनी and you take it out. No, it can be done for the savings, that to promote the saving, that women should save, or some digital payment they are doing, or they are giving the credit to somebody. No, they are basically using, most of the women, they basically withdraw the cash that directly. उसके बाद उसका अकाउंट का कोई यूज नहीं है, गवर्नमेंट ने 10,000 रुपीज भेजा एंड वीमेन विथड्रू दैट अमाउंट एंड दैट्स इट. द जेंडर डिजिटल डिवाइड ऑल्सो, women are 19% less likely to own a mobile phone. In families also in rural areas, basically we observe that most of the women, they rely on the shared mobile phones shared by her husband or her children. Also there are issues with the privacy and autonomy concerns of the women in the rural areas. Along with this, there are structural barriers, patriarchal norms, definitely social control over women's financial behavior. Women's financial behavior, how she's saving, how she's spending, it is supposed to be controlled under patriarchal norms. So therefore, there is lack of autonomy. Even if government sends the 10,000 rupees, what are the chances that the women will have control over the expenditure that she wants to make out of those 10,000 rupees? There will definitely be the control of the men in the house. Then mobility constraint, obviously, if the bank branches or the ATMs are not nearby, then women are definitely not supposed to go there. Low representation, banking correspondence जो scheme है banks की to increase the outreach of the banking, less than 10% of these are women. मतलब women representation is not there. इनफॉर्मल एम्प्लॉयमेंट है वीमेन का मोस्टली, सो बैंक का यूज की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ती. अगर तुम लेबर कर रहे हो, अपने खुद की एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड में काम कर रहे हो, विच इज कॉल्ड एज फेमिनाइजेशन ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर, so you are supposed to get money in terms of cash, or either you don't get paid at all. So therefore there is no use of using the banks. Okay, so what should be done? There are the various data which has been given. See this one here. Although these RuPay cards are also distributed among the free accounts, okay, the UPI transaction through these cards have increased from 2 crore in 2017 to 18,000 crores. Okay, but it is still, it lags behind man's. Man जितना use कर रहा है उससे काफी पीछे है ये. There are issues of like cost of the phone and data, of how women are supposed to use mobile phone in rural areas where the family income is not that much, and also getting access to the mobile data. It costs around 800 to 1,000 rupees for 84 days. Then there's a fear of cyber fraud. Okay, so social norms prevent women's ownership of mobile phone also. So what should be done? What should be the way forward for this? अब scheme announce करना अपने आप में is not bad at all. But at the same time, if the money is being transferred, some other measures should also be taken. Okay, it definitely builds some kind of agency, but it still has the issues which we have discussed here. So what should be done? Strengthening economic agency. हमें इसको कहां से कहां करना है? It should not be seen as a measure of welfare. ये welfare का measure से लेके इसको transform करना है empowerment में. Welfare हो रहा है if you're giving them the money, but it should be empowered. It should lead to empowerment where they have the right, they have the choice, they have the autonomy to spend that money. So policies must evolve from money in the account to control over resources. This is what is called as agency. Strengthening economic agency. First, secure property rights and joint land titles. Almost, I think, around 10 to 12% of the land is in the names of the women, and that too for the sake of the charges on the stamp duty, which are less for the women. It is done for that purpose. Women should be enabled to leverage that credit and engage in entrepreneurship. Digital gap should be bridged. Subsidized mobile phone. अब देखो डिजिटल गैप कैसे, अब बात कर लेंगे कि ठीक है फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी दे दो, ट्रेनिंग दे दो. अब रियल थिंग इज द एसेट, दैट इज द मोबाइल फोन दे शुड हैव इन देयर फोन. सो सब्सिडाइज्ड स्मार्टफोन कैन बी गिवन and affordable data plans can be devised for the women. Also, privacy should be ensured because this is a big thing in rural areas, especially privacy, and also the fear of cyber frauds. It should be reduced, and also reducing dependency on the shared device is the same thing. Of gender sensitive financial product लेके आओ. For example, if women are engaged in informal sector, so accordingly there should be products which cater to these things. if their informal or seasonal income is there for the women, so they should have some mechanisms to save that money and also give credit. Also integrate digital and financial literacy into welfare program, that goes without saying. Building supportive ecosystem like female banking correspondents, they should be more. Okay, the number is 10% only. So out of the 100 banking correspondents, only 10 are women. Promoting digital banking, Sakhis and community-based network. So this should be done so that we can make a transition from welfare to empowerment. Use these lines as it is in your main answers as well as your headings of the essay. When you write an essay on women empowerment or gem trinity or anything, use it. Welfare to empowerment, use this as heading. Money in the account to control over resources. Okay, they all give very good impression on the examiner's mind. Mature relationship, बेसिकली इसका डिस्कशन में यूएसए कॉन्टेक्स्ट में ही हो रहा है, क्योंकि इससे पहले सब चीजों का इतना डिस्कशन नहीं होता था. बट सी द वर्ड्स व्हिच हैव बीन यूज्ड इन द आर्टिकल. सोशल मीडिया थ्रेट्स we see on the Twitter daily. Reciprocal actions, shrill rhetorics. Now this is what has become the norm at the global level, which is led by United States. Okay. Now the trade deal signed by US, the already signed trade deals, even the president is willing to change the contours of those trade deals also. So even if you sign a trade deal with US, you cannot trust it. It can be changed any moment, any day. Okay, so from this contrast of the United States or the global international arena norms, now the Prime Minister of UK came to India with 100 of delegation. Okay, with defense agreements, investment, movie deals are there. We'll see what are these. और डिफेंस के लिए what has happened is basically India ने अपना expenditure जो है on infrastructure has reduced. गवर्नमेंट ने एक्सप्लिसिटली कहा है कि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के ऊपर जो इन्वेस्टमेंट था, कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर जो हमारा था, अब उतना नहीं रहेगा जितना पहले था. उसका वन ऑफ द मेजर रीजन इज इंडिया को अब डिफेंस के ऊपर भी प्रोक्योरमेंट करना है. उस डिफेंस प्रोक्योरमेंट का एक जो एंगल है वो अब यूके से साइन हो गया है, जब 350 मिलियन पाउंड का मिसाइल सप्लाई डील यूके के साथ हो गया है. ओके, एंड ऑल्सो इंडियन कंपनीज हैव कमिटेड टू इन्वेस्ट 1.3 बिलियन in UK. Similar investment have been promised by the UK also, which has not been made public by India. The issues are basically UK का जो total merchandise export है उसका only less than 2% इंडिया आता है, और इंडिया का जो यूके जाता है वो only 3% है. So there is a huge potential to increase the export from both the countries. देन इन्वेस्टमेंट हो गया, डिफेंस हो गया, मूवी डील्स बेसिकली यशराज फिल्म पे यहाँ पे गए थे, उन्होंने प्रॉमिस किया कि हम 2 से 3 मूवीज वहां पर शूट करेंगे. ऑल्सो 2 UK यूनिवर्सिटीज हैव ऑल्सो कमिटेड टू ओपनिंग कैंपसेस इन इंडिया. देयरफॉर क्रॉस सेक्टर कोऑपरेशन इज बीइंग इंश्योर्ड विदाउट एनी फर्स्ट ईगो, जस्ट बिजनेस. शेड्यूल कास्ट पैनल, बेसिकली नेशनल कमीशन फॉर शेड्यूल कास्ट प्रिस्क्राइब्ड certain conditions under which the complaints to the panel can be rejected. Pendency बहुत ज़्यादा increase हो गई है NCSC के पास, NCST, all these commissions have lot of pendency. So to deal with this, these changes have been made. These are not very important for us. This is important for us for prelims point of view, even mains point of view. National Commission for Scheduled Caste. It was established under Article 338 of the Constitution. It provides for the establishment of National Commission for Scheduled Caste. Originally इस आर्टिकल में NCSC plus NCST, that is SC और ST दोनों के लिए बनाया गया था, NCSC and ST. Through the 89th Constitutional Amendment Act of 2003, NCST अलग बॉडी बनाई गई under Article 338A. So now the position is Article 338 is for NCSC, 338A is for NCST. Members are chairperson is there, vice chairperson, and 3 other members appointed by the President of India. Okay, various powers are there with the commission. They also carry the power of a civil court so that they can summon, okay, inquire into any atrocities happen against the SC community. Who are SCs? Is it defined in the Constitution? Article 366 जहाँ पे definitions लिखी हैं, it says scheduled caste means caste, races or tribe or part of group within such castes which are डीम्ड अंडर आर्टिकल 341 टू बी शेड्यूल कास्ट। जो 341 के अंदर है वही है शेड्यूल कास्ट, कुछ बताया नहीं, बस 341 में जो है वो है। 341 में क्या है? 341 में लिखा है कि इट एम्पावर्स द प्रेसिडेंट टू स्पेसिफाई थ्रू पब्लिक नोटिफिकेशन कौन कौन सी कास्ट शेड्यूल कास्ट है। तो बेसिकली एक्सप्लिसिटली डिफाइंड नहीं है, बट इसमें प्रोविजन मेड किए गए हैं कि प्रेसिडेंट जो डिक्लेयर कर देंगे वही होंगे। ओके, लास्ट आर्टिकल, हाउ इज द इम्यून सिस्टम kept in check? Nobel Prize for Medicine has been awarded to the three awardees, Mary E. Bronco and Fred Ramsdell from the US and Japan's Shimon Sagaguchi. Discovering concerning peripheral immune tolerance. What is this? One question has also come on this in 2022 prelims. Let us briefly see what is this. Say this is our immune system. Okay. And this is our body. If something external comes to it, say pathogen, now our immune system fights with it. The first thing is how it fights with it, how it knows that it is external and it can be harmful for the body. This is one thing. Second is how immune system is able to differentiate between external and internal. If it can attack the external elements, then it can also attack the internal organs. Then why it is not doing it? Okay, so these questions have been answered by the Nobel Prize winners. So basically it says, unless the body's immune system is kept in check, it can attack its own organs. अब इसका जवाब है कि इम्यून सिस्टम में टी सेल्स होते हैं. What these T cells do, they have these, for example, if these are the T cells, so they have these outer layers, and they basically checks for any external element entering into the body. Okay, so these T cells perform the precise task of preventing immune cell from launching an attack on the body. Let us see. All T cells have special protein called as T cell receptor. ये T cell है, इस पे T cell receptors हैं, which are linked on the surface. Now these receptors are kind of a sensor. अब इनकी help से the T cells basically scan the other cell to discover whether the body is under attack or not. If the body is under attack, then it launch the safety mechanisms. Okay, detect the invaders. So now various studies of, like along with time, earlier it was rejected, but now later it is accepted. It says there is a new class of T cell which called extra protein. CD25 extra protein होता है, which basically distinguishes between the self and the external elements. So T cell, they act as immune response to the external element. They have CD25 which distinguish between the self organs and the external element. This is a UPSC prelims question, straightforward question. Which one of the following statement best describe the role of B cell and T cell in human body? Environmental allergen से बचाते हैं, body pain से बचाते हैं, immunosuppressant हैं, या फिर protect the body from disease caused by pathogen. This is the function of the T cell. They protect the body from the disease caused by pathogens. So D is the correct answer. So this is it for today. I am attaching these notes in the comment box. Now we'll see you tomorrow. If you have any query, you can ask. So now let's meet tomorrow. Till then, good luck. Goodbye. Thank you.